Professor Kenneth Tan, who is the Vice Dean of the Kuan Yew School of Public Policy at the National University of Singapore. Professor, thank you for joining us this morning. Can you describe Kuan Yew's style of leadership? Was he too tough? Was he too authoritarian, as we just heard Conrad Raj say?
I think Mr. Lee was a very complex man, and the toughness, the authoritarian aspects of his rule were necessarily there. I think he was a man for his time. But there were other aspects of him as well that add to this complex image of the leader. For instance, while he had a very clear vision for what he wanted to do with Singapore, that is to say, to ensure that Singapore survived and prospered well into the future, he also had a pragmatic bent, which means to say that he adapted to circumstances, he adapted to the realities of the world.
But you say it was a necessary toughness. I mean, one of his quotes is, "Everyone who governs Singapore must have iron in him or give up." Would it have been very much different if he wasn't that tough? I mean, it were extremely draconian laws, and still Singapore remains a very tightly ruled society.
I think so. I mean, some people might argue that that was too tough, and there were many casualties along the way towards Singapore's progress and stability and order and all these goods which Singaporeans would also value just as much. I think maybe in the 70s, many Singaporeans would have gone with this justification that these were necessary evils. Today, though, we're seeing a somewhat different complexion in the Singapore electorate. We're seeing people who continue to feel this way, no doubt, but there are also others who feel that it is now time for Singapore to embrace more values other than just order, security, and the harsh methods of government that are necessary for these things.
Do you think that message has got through to the politicians? Of course, the current Prime Minister is indeed the son of Kuan Yew, Lee Hsien Loong. Do you think that there will be a softer, gentler government in the years ahead?
I'm not so sure if it's about being a softer, gentler government. I think in many ways what comes out of that authoritarian legacy are strong institutions of government. And that's exactly the kind of thing that we need right now to ensure that the diversity of views, perspectives, positions, ideals, values can actually flourish in Singapore. So it's not about softness, it's about ensuring that this system adapts and is able to make the best use out of a variety of viewpoints and talents.